and Sri Shiksha School, Ms. Bhattacharya, Deputy Secretary General, Mr. Agarwal, Principal, Standard, Headmistress, Ms. Mukherjee, heads of the institution, all the teachers and students of the 44 reputed schools present here, and of course, our dear teachers and students of Sri Shiksha School. We are honored to have with us today as our guest in chief, the respected Srimati Sumangala Birla. We also have with us an eminent author, Mashirin Sultana, who belongs to our very own path. We thank you for taking out your precious time to be with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, I, Atri Sarkar, the Student Cultural Secretary.
And I, Oendrala Dev, the Assistant Student Cultural Secretary, welcome you to the Inter-School Creative Writing Competitive event of Sri Shiksha School, Words on Wings, where expressions take flight.
We are immensely happy to announce that we have more than 40 schools participating today. Some all the way from Rajasthan, Jharkhand, and even Scotland, which has only been made possible with the online platform. We hope to expand this event further in the future so that more outstation schools can join us in this creative venture. It's just as the light ignites the world, imagination ignites the mind.
Creativity is triggered by imagination, which is considered divine, and it is believed that it is often inspired by divine intervention. Goddess Durga is believed to be the epitome of peace, power, and creativity, and thus is the divine muse for many. She, a representation of Shakti, helps one's inner power to deal with any situation in life. She also ignites creativity and positive thoughts in one's mind. Durga Puja is round the corner, and we believe that our minds will be filled with similar positive thoughts and creativity, which will help us nourish ourselves. On this note, let us light the lamp to inaugurate a ceremony that celebrates one's creative prowess.
सुरनरमुनि जनमाननि सकलबोधज्ञानी भवानी दयानी भवानी सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गले शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गले शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते नारायणी नमोस्तुते नारायणी नमोस्तुते
Thank you, everyone. We would now like to invite our principal, Ms. Tandon, to kindly welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Atrey, and thank you, Indrila. A very good morning to the school president, Shri S.K. Birla, eminent trustee members, members of the executive committee and the school management committee, Secretary General, Mrs. Bhattacharya, Deputy Secretary General, Mr. Agarwal, Headmistress, Ms. Mukherjee, principals, educationists, distinguished guests, members from the media, teachers, parents, and dear students. Welcome to the literary event Words on Wings 2021 of Shri Shikshatan School. Today we have with us a very senior lady from the Birla family as a guest in chief, Srimati Sumangla Birla. Ma'am, on behalf of the entire Shikshatan family, we welcome you to this event. It is indeed an honor and privilege to have you with us. And if I may add, we are truly delighted as well. We are sure your words of wisdom and blessings will go a long way for the school. Ladies and gentlemen, we also welcome Mashirin Sultana, an author who is quite young but has penned down 3 books. Ms. Sultana, your presence here today is a great opportunity for our young students to read and write, learn and grow. So ladies and gentlemen, in 2019, when I was asked to conceptualize a literary meet with a difference, it was a challenging task. However, after several brainstorming sessions with teachers and students, we finally rolled out this literary meet of Shri Shikshatan School. The name, the logo, the tagline, it reads, Words on Wings, where expressions take flight, all were a result of good teamwork. 33 schools had joined the meet. The event was appreciated by one and all. Quite motivated, we have decided to make it a regular feature of our school. Now this year, our challenges are quite different as the entire event is being run digitally. We know we could not invite you physically to our school, but let's look at the positive aspect. We have enlarged our circle and many outstation schools from India and a few from foreign shores have joined the event. So how does this literary meet move today? So this event is in 3 parts. The first is the inaugural session, which you are a part of at the moment. Here we all have our eminent chief guest and also an author with us. The second part is after this inaugural session, where students of 44 participating schools are going to join online. These students have been divided into 3 categories. They're from classes 6 to 12. Each group is going to get 10 topics to select from. And in 90 minutes, we expect them to give flight to the imagination and express themselves in the form of an original story. The topics are going to be disclosed at the time of writing, even to our own school students. The third round is when we code these stories and temporarily remove the names of the young writers and also their school names. Thereafter, these stories are sent to writer judges who are not a part of our organization to select the best 3 stories in each group. After receiving their judgment, stories are published, compiled and published in the form of a book. And we share this book with all the students who have written a story therein and also the participating schools. So on the whole, the entire literary meet is designed to give impetus to young students to read beyond the textbooks and shape their thoughts into wonderful stories. Now, today's event also marks the culmination of our 10 bagless days for the middle school. We hope, dear parents, your children have enjoyed the concept of bagless days as the school conducted varied activities to hone their skills and talent. After the inaugural program, they too are requested to write in their own Google Meet classroom a story, a poem, even a thought in any language they wish to. 1st October is also the International Day for Older Persons. This year, the theme by WHO is Digital Equity for All Ages. The senior generation needs our love and attention, thought and care. This pandemic brought in not just social distance, but also social isolation for many. So today we dedicate Words on Wings 2021 to them. Ladies and gentlemen, we have also included Care for Elderly in our Saver program for classes 9 to 12 this year. Let's go back to Words on Wings. Why do we call this program or the book Words on Wings? Because they say books are the plane, the train, and the road. They are the destination and the journey. They take you home. They make you a wanderer, a philosopher, a poet. They give you hope. They give you belief. They help you dream and give wings to your dreams. Hence, Words on Wings. A quote from Jane Austen. I declare, after all, there is no enjoyment like reading. So I hope this holds true for all of us over here. Happy reading and writing to all our students, not just for this function, but also during the Puja holidays. So once again, we welcome you all to the inaugural program of Words on Wings. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words of encouragement. We are honored to have with us today as our guest in chief, the respected Srimati Sumangala Birla. She is an educationist and an avid social worker. She's the managing committee chairperson of Sushila Birla Girls School and Birla High School. She's also the chairperson of the G.D. Birla Institute. She founded the Ladies Study Group, popularly known as LSG, whose objectives are to spread awareness through interactions and carrying out action plans for improving the quality of life in our society. We would like to felicitate you, ma'am, a small token of appreciation from all of us at Sri Shiksha School. We thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Namaskar. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all the lovely gifts.
Thank you. We wish you had come in person.
Well, I'm in Delhi just now, but nice
Yes.
to join.
But we'll do that sometimes in future again.
Yes,
soon.
of course.
Today, we have amongst us an eminent author, Mashirin Sultana. She is known for being Kolkata's youngest novelist. She completed her schooling from Our Lady Queen of the Missions and later studied law at the University of Calcutta. Reading novels, writing, and exploring recipes are her hobbies. Her first book, The Midnight Poetries, was written when she was just 17 years old. She has also written the book 1:1000, where she talks about the orthodox norms which unfortunately still exist in our society. Besides being an author and a renowned poet, she is a keen NGO worker who focuses on the development of the society. Her immense interest in debates has led her to debating at international levels. We would like to felicitate Ms. Sultana with a small token of appreciation.
Thank you, Shireen,
Thank you
for
so
being a
much.
part of this program. Thank you.
I'm truly blessed to be a part of such a platform. Thank you so much.
The last time Words on Wings was held in 2019. The students from classes 6 to 8 had participated. Unlike last time, we have extended the event this year to classes 9 to 12, along with classes 6 to 8, so that we can witness a lot more creative souls at work. But like last time, this time too, we will be publishing a collection of the best stories of Words on Wings in form of a book. I would now like to present a short presentation as a reminiscence of all the beautiful moments of Words on Wings 2019. Well, that wonderful presentation certainly made us exclaim, wow, is that just a coincidence? We believe that was words always, indeed, living up to its name.
We would now like to invite the Secretary General of Shikshayatan Foundation and Sri Shikshayatan School, Ms. Bhattacharya, to kindly deliver the keynote address.
A very good morning to our President, Mr. S.K. Birla. Good morning to our esteemed guest in chief, Mrs. Sumangala Birla, the senior most lady of the Birla family, the chairperson of JDBI, SBGS, Birla High Mukundapur, and our very, very special guest, Mashirin Sultana, our trustee members, ExCom members, management committee members, all my lovely colleagues, DSG, principal, HM, faculty, staff, everyone who has joined virtually, students, parents, participants of Words on Wings, or as we say, WOW, a signature literary fest which started only very recently, 2019. Yes, as a group, we are 102 years, Shikshayatan Foundation. Yes, I'm talking about that story of the foundation, which started 102 years back. And I welcome all of you on behalf of Shikshayatan Foundation. Shikshayatan Foundation is definitely a living story. It's a living story because it empowers people, and that is the motto of this institution. In fact, I will be talking about rich and poor, and I heard this when I heard Mashirin speaking just last Saturday on 25th of September. She talked about that the world being either rich or poor, and we said that yes, even in SF, we only think, how do we make people rich? And we make people rich by empowering them with knowledge, with culture, heritage, and values to be grounded always. And that's how we make all our people, be it students, be it faculty, be it your staff, everyone is rich when they go out. We transform, we try to transform every life. Yes, we are celebrating 100 years of educational excellence. Our fest, WOW, is very, very unique. It's an annual fest and it celebrates creativity in all its form. This literary fest definitely is something, which we had dreamt of. But every time you dream of something, it really doesn't happen. It takes time. And I must thank the academic section, principal, headmistress to take up this challenge and actually make it a reality. Thank you for doing this. This fest is nothing but a Woodstock of the mind. It is a popular event because students are able to also interact with the author and also share their minds in a form of a story. And definitely that is going to be printed in that prestigious book, WOW. We all know that literary festivals have lots to do and can be hugely enriching. While reading and writing are just often solitary pursuits, but these literary festivals create a shared community, even though it is temporary, and we believe in communities of practice. I'm sure many of you know that the most famous literary festival is the Hay Festival, which happens over a period of 10 days, and it's called Hay on the Way in Wales. As a child, we were all encouraged to read a lot of books. That time we did not have so much of digitalization, so we had physical books to read. We were encouraged to read from Somerset Maugham, Maupassant, short stories from O. Henry, P.G. Wodehouse, even detective stories like Agatha Christie and Sherlock Holmes. I spent quite a time, in Bengal also when I was a child. And we were also encouraged to read books like Dr. Nihar Ranjan Gupta, Feluda, and Bomkesh Bokshi. In fact, people have been meeting and talking about books as long as literature existed. We also heard about literary salons and coffee houses where they would be exchanging a lot of notes. Literary festival has become a public event and a very cultural phenomena of late. But I must also share that in the modern literary festival was the Cheltenham Literature Festival, which has been happening since 1949. And there are about 200 festivals which are happening, in the world, starting from Belfast to Beirut, Jaipur to Melbourne, all bringing in authors, reading in public. While when we talk about creativity, Shikshayatan allows and gives that platform to children to be young authors. And that is the uniqueness of WOW. In fact, we would also like to add film and poetry, which will become a part of the Literary Fest, maybe sometimes in the future. When we did this in 2019, it was a local program. And we had said, we will take this at the national level, and we will also take this to the international level. And we're so happy that that has happened, that we are having people at the national and also from the international level. Literature definitely is vital because it sustains a vibrant culture. And WOW aspires to create an aesthetic and sustainable society through this celebration of an eclectic combination of literature, culture, and heritage. Dear children, whosoever is participating, from wherever you're participating, whatever you have within yourself and whatever you feel passionate about, do share through your stories in a form of humor, laughter, to launch and get to your point. We want to hear from you if you think that there is something that you would like to express. There is something that has been happening in this society and which drives you and you feel concerned. That is incredible and that deserves to be noticed. Please do share it, because we have been coming through a lot of uncertainty in this last 1.5 years. And if you would like to let off some steam, do it. Whatever may be the topic, but you can do it with a lot of humor, with your thought, and whatever has been concerning you. Your stories will reach out to people. I wish all the participants all the best. I thank every person, every mentor who had decided that their children would be participating. Yes, Seniors Day is also celebrated on 21st of August, and we also celebrated on 1st of October. So a happy Seniors Day to everyone. Happy Durga Puja, stay well. And I would again like to express my thanks to Mrs. Pilla. We are so happy that you are here with us. We always wanted that, you be part of some program, and we are extremely, extremely thankful to you. I must thank Shireen also, that in a very, very short period, she agreed to be part of this program. Thank you, Shireen. Thanks to everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your motivating words. I'm sure all the names of those books certainly spread a sense of warmth amongst all the book lovers who have joined us today.
It is said that music, once admitted to the soul, comes a sort of spirit and never dies. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the next performance. Today is 1st of October, day which is also observed as the International Day for the Elderly. What can be better but to utilize this opportunity to pay a tribute to all the lovely elderly people without whom our lives would have been complete. The first song, Love You Grandparents, is a song to remind us of the significant place that the elderly members of our family hold in our lives. The presentation features the students of Sri Shiksha School with their grandparents.
You spend time with me. You see the best in me, and you're great to be around. You read books to me. You want me to succeed, and your wisdom is profound. How wonderful it is to know you, to learn from your experience. So thank you, Grandma, thank you, Grandpa. I'm so very glad you're in my life. I just had to let you know. Thank you, Grandma, thank you, Grandpa. I'm so very glad you're in my life. And I love you very much. You have fun with me. You take me out to eat. And I like when we hang out. You impart to me the worth of family and what life is all about. How wonderful it is to know you, to learn from your experience. So thank you, Grandma, thank you, Grandpa. I'm so very glad you're in my life. I just had to let you know. Thank you, Grandma, thank you, Grandpa. I'm so very glad you're in my life. And I love you very much.
Wasn't that a mesmerizing performance? Thank you to the singers for gracing the day with their mellifluous voices. We are honored to have amongst us, as our guest in chief, Srimati Sumangala Birla. We would now like to request you to address all the people who have joined us on Zoom and on our YouTube live stream. We're all very excited to hear from you, ma'am.
Mrs. Bhattacharya. Mrs. Bhattacharya, Mrs. Tandon, respected guests, staff, and students of the Sri Shiksha School. It is my pleasure and privilege to be here today to witness a creative and innovative literary event, Words on Wings, organized by Shiksha School. Books are the gateway of knowledge. So I find this a wonderful endeavor on part of Sri Shiksha School to ignite the young minds, bursting with the spark of expression. The poet Thomas Gray says, many a flower is born to blush unseen and waste its sweetness in the desert air. A good many flowers bloom and fade away in the deserted places, seen by no one. But I'm happy to see that the school is providing this platform to the aspiring minds so that no flower blushes unseen. Sri Shiksha School goes beyond its boundaries to nature and nourish the creative talents. I compliment the school for providing such wonderful opportunities to not only its own students, but also to students of other schools. Thank you. I wish the students participants all the best on this occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your inspiring work. It is an honor to be able to host you today.
Thank
Today
you.
is a celebration of creativity and imagination. Imagination that finds expression through works. Coming up next, the song I'm Gonna Read a Book that tells us how books give rise to wings of imagination, holds creativity, and encourages us to never restrict ourselves to certain limits. The pictures and performance in the presentation are that of the students of Sri Shiksha School.
What's a good thing to do on a rainy day? I'm gonna read a book today. Or when it's too hot to go outside and play, I'm gonna read a book today. What can take you to a world of make-believe? I'm gonna read a book today, where spaceships fly and dinosaurs breathe. I'm gonna read a book today. What you gonna do? Read. What you gonna do? Read. Read a little every day. What you gonna do? Read. What you gonna do? Get smarter every single page. You gotta learn about the kings from long ago. I'm gonna read a book today, or how Singapore came to be from days of old. I'm gonna read a book today. How can you learn how an airplane flies? I'm gonna read a book today. Or why a spider has a gazillion eyes. I'm gonna read a book today. What you gonna do? Read. What you gonna do? Read. Read a little every day. What you gonna do? Read. What you gonna do? Gets easier every single page. What you gonna do? Read. What you gonna do? Read. Read a little every day. What you gonna do? Read. What you gonna do? Gets easier every single page.
That was indeed a wonderful performance. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally begin with the much awaited interactive session of Literary Meet. So we request the moderators of the day, Sudiksha Basu, the head girl and a student of class 12, accompanied by Fiona Raj, student of class 11, to kindly take over the proceedings.
Thank you, Atre. A very good morning to one and all present here. We are gathered here today for the Exalted Words on Wings program. And we are delighted to have among us our guest, Mashirin Sultana. She's an eminent author and an inspiring individual. And we are rhapsodically eager to hear more from her. And we, Fiona.
Absolutely, Sudiksha. We are all here because we love to read, and to get a peek into the mind of an author is something that we are all looking forward to. Now, we do have a few questions up our sleeves. Well, not quite, because it came from our lovely audience members, but let's just call it our sleeve. Has an air of sophistication to it. Now, on with the first question. We learned that your first book came out when you were just 17. We are 17, so are most of our audience members. How did you manage to pen a book while managing academics, debate, and everything else that you do? We'd love to know.
Thank you, Fiona. I hope I'm audible for everyone to hear. So I had never planned writing this book. I was always into creative writing, whether short stories, poems. So my entire school life, those were the best days, in fact, because that is the maximum time that I could give for writing. And yes, I remember giving my board exams, my 12, and there was I kind of compiled all my short poems into one book, and I had nothing in mind, but I started sending to different publishers because there were, there are certain stigmas in society which I feel to be addressed, that people kind of say that, to be an author or to get published at a large platform, or if you want your writings to come at a very big platform, you need to have contacts, you need to have good recommendations, you need to have a lot of capital. And all I say is that people who want themselves to be recognized, they should just come out with their talent. And I think that is what I have done. I just came out with the flow. And I still remember that the acceptance mail which I got, it was my last exam of my boards, and I couldn't quite, I had to, I took a lot of time to process it at a very young age, that okay, from now onwards, I'm no more an amateur writer, but I'm now going to be called as an author. So yeah, that's it.
I mean, I can't imagine what that must have felt like to finally see that your own work was being published to such a wide audience. And for that reason, you are an inspiration for all of us, since Fiona already said, we are 17, we're all 17. So since you are an inspiration to many, who were your inspirations when you were a budding writer?
Well, my entire school life, or even till date, there are quite a lot of inspirations. I've admired quite a lot of writers who have turned out to be my inspirations, whether it's Sidney Sheldon or whether it's Dan Brown. And I have admired Ayn Rand for her literary sophistication, Salman Rushdie, Khalid Hosseini. I think the list is really long, and obviously our favorite Ruskin Bond for all the school students.
I mean, we'd have to admit, like, that totally enriches the list of books that we should be reading. Thank you for actually saying that, because we have a lot of audience members who would perhaps don't know where to start reading books and enriching their, literary library, but this acts as great advice. But that brings me to my next question, which again is a follow-up to your first response, which is, you said that it does not take, age or contacts to actually get a book published. Fair enough. But then again, there's a lot of young writers who have a lot to say, a lot to offer. They want to write, but then again, they have this insecurity that they are not that proficient with the language they're writing with. Is that an insecurity that is common? And what do you have to say about that?
Well, I would say that to not look upon the insecurities, just start right now, start with whatever you have. If we constantly, look upon the factors that triggers that, towards the direction that why shouldn't we do this, I think we should always look for the side that why should we opt for it. Whatever we might have, even if it's for two writings, even if it's like two write-ups, one poems, go for a short anthology, try podcasting, try YouTube. I think digitalization has become one of the very fastest moves since COVID. It has always been though, but I think after COVID has come and we are all into this pandemic, and now people can actually, look for the advantages of digitalization. So I think as I've told, that you really do not need to have a lot of factors to become a recognized author or to get your writing as a recognition. And you shouldn't see, for the factors that lead you to the place where you shouldn't, see the part that, why shouldn't I get published, or, look for the insecurities that if, I get published, I don't know who will be my readers and what will be the space, if I'll get recognition, if there are publishers who will accept my manuscript. I remember that my second book, when I was coming out with my second book, there were 28 publishers who rejected me, online. So it's okay, the 29th one did accept. And yeah, so that is why I think we should all, just continue persistence again, perseverance. So yeah, these words, of course, you should want, it's all upon how you should, how you take your goal as.
I mean, I absolutely agree. I think it's the same with any kind of, like, writing is also a form of art, I would say. It's the same with any kind of art form. It's, if you believe in something, you should persevere and continue until you achieve what you wanted to. But while there are many budding writers in the audience, there are many participants for the competition today, and a lot of us might have faced the dreaded writer's block. So my question to you is, first of all, do you believe in writer's block? And if you do, how do you overcome it?
Absolutely. I think writer's block is something really, that's an absolute concept. Writer's block do happen. And yes, it's a time when the writers, the inflow of ideas or creativity or imagination, it just stops in between, and you are no longer, you just feel that, you're no longer creative. You don't know where the words coming, why are the words not coming in your head. So I think there are 2 to 3, as per what I follow, there might be different strategies that different authors follow for themselves. But I think 2 to 3 things which I can suggest from my side would be not to over pressurize yourself, not to stress upon yourself at this point of time, because our brain needs certain relaxation time as well. So if we keep on stressing over the fact that why am I not being able to write, why am I not being, why am I not being able to deliver this piece of writing, so at that point of time, maybe it can never happen. So I would say that just to relax, do not over pressurize yourself. And second thing, I would say that to just shift from that topic, whatever topic that the author has been working on, and to look for some other topic at that point of time to work on that, and then again get back to the previous one. So it's just diverting your mind so that you can have fresh inflow of ideas. You can also go reading some books. Bring some change. So yes, that's how I overcome my writer's block. It has happened a lot of time.
That's actually great advice. And then again, relaxation seems to be the key here. And it sounds strange to actually imagine that a person who has come up with 3 books can face writer's block, just like all of us. That really makes this extremely relatable, honestly. Then fair enough, we then got over writer's block. Let's say the writer's block phase is gone. We actually came up with a book. We actually came up with something publishable. Now, how would you say a book travels from the draft section of your laptop to the reader's table? How does that process go? That is something that we really are interested to know about.
Okay, so this is the post-production work, and that is, I think, that's the most tough part. I know writing is one of the most toughest job. Like, you work on this manuscript for a year. I don't know. It takes different individuals have different time for writing. So, but the post production work is one of the very toughest job to do. So, I would share my journey, how I came up. So, this is how you prepare a manuscript, and even while you're preparing a manuscript, there are 2 to 3 drafts, various. The first draft, if that you are not you can relax on the first draft, of course, and then you correct few things in your second draft, and the final draft you make, which is prepares the third draft. Then you have to start looking for publishers. Well, I would say that there are brand publishers all over the world, globally recognized, but they do not recognize the young writers or maybe the youth. Somewhere it does lack. And but I would again say that do not start questioning yourself as to why are those brand publishers not recognizing you. I would say that go for the smaller publishers. There are publishers in our city. If you cannot get the link up to the publishers who are from another state, you can always look around yourself in your city, wherever you're based at. Start mailing them. Do some bit of research on your part. Start mailing them with your manuscript. And one piece again of advice, that do not mail your entire book to anyone. Just mail the first 3 chapters, which is really important, because then the copyright issue things do arise. So yes, after which you do wait for the publisher to get back to you with some message which the publisher has. And yeah, that's, I think, the post publishing work. If you have an entire team, the publisher provides you with a team, an operational manager who's going to look for the book, you design the cover, the formatting, the editing, everything is done. And then the printing of the book goes under printing. So that's how the book is printed. And then the rest of the process includes distribution, marketing, and this is how a book does reach to the reader's table finally, there where you can buy your books. I think again I would focus on digitalization, that we all are buying books from Amazon, Flipkart, even the ebook, Kindle edition. So that is actually giving Medium a very strong platform to various authors to showcase their writings. Yeah, it is being very, very much, it is having a large access for all the readers to get through the works of many writers.
I mean, thank you so much. I think that's very reassuring for all of us. And I would say it's solid advice coming from someone who is in the field. So finally, before we wrap up, there are many students today who are participating in the competition, and they have to write in a limited period of time, and they're all going to write their own creations. They're going to use their creativity. So what advice would you give them, and do you have any message for the participants who could be upcoming successful writers?
Well, a big, huge loads of success and huge loads of luck to all the writers who are going to participate in this content writing. And I would just say, go with the flow. Imagine just why. Don't do not think like, I think imagination does not have any barrier, any stop, and you should not even think about it like, how is my writing going? Yes, follow the track, follow the topic, and just write, get the flow of writing. And do not even focus on if you're getting the perfect vocabulary. If mostly I think writers these days, they focus, or even the young children, they do focus on how to get a perfect vocabulary. Of course one should have, but while you are in a competition, you should not focus on having a very perfect vocabulary, or when you have go through a grammar check. You can do that later on, but just focus on writing. Just stick to the topic. And yes, a huge loads of success to everyone.
Thank you so much. I think that was very clear for all the participants, and I'm sure they will use your advice, and they will succeed in the competition. With that, we conclude today's interactive session, and it was great talking to you, Ms. Sultana. Over to Fiona.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you know what they say, like all good things, like any good book, even this amazing conversation has to come to an end. And we actually learned a lot ourselves. And I'm sure our 600 audience members who are viewing us right now did too. Thank you so much for answering our questions, Ms. Sultana. Now we would like to hand the proceedings back to the MCs and our friends, Atri Sarkar and Oinjula Deb. Thank you.
That was a very, very interesting session. Thank you, Fiona and Sadiksha. And thank you so much, Ms. Shireen. Such an informative interaction. I'm sure that all the budding writers watching us today will surely put your advice to good use. The last performance is of the song You Raise Me Up by Josh Groban, released in 2001. It tells us that trying times are a part of life. But if we are around people who support us, love us no matter what, and have faith, we will surely get the strength and power to overcome any and every difficulty. This is a tribute to all our parents, grandparents, teachers, and all the people who have lent us a hand of support during difficult times.
When I am down and oh my soul's so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
That was an outstanding performance. We would now like to request the Deputy Secretary General of Shikshatan Foundation and Shri Shikshatan School, Mr. Agarwal, to give the vote of thanks.
Good noon, ladies and gentlemen. We are indeed privileged and honored to have with us today Srimati Sumangalaji Birla, Chairperson, J.D. Birla Institute, SBGS, BHM, an educationist and a social worker as a guest in chief. We thank and express our gratitude to Srimati Birla for taking time out from her busy schedule to attend this program and inspiring our budding writers. We extend our gratitude to the president of our school management, Mr. S.K. Birla, other trustee, EXCOM members, and the school management committee for their continuous support and encouragement to our initiatives. Our special thanks to Mr. Siddharth Birla for joining today's event. We take this opportunity to extend our thanks and gratitude to our special guest, novelist Madam Mashirin Sultana, for sharing her views and encouraging all participants. We are grateful to the Secretary General of Shiksha Foundation and Sri Shiksha School, Mrs. Batati Bhattacharya, for her constant support in our all school programs. We also thank the principal, Mrs. Sangeeta Tandon, for her guidance with full enthusiasm and zeal. We also thank Madam Posali Mukherjee, headmistress of the junior section, for her presence and encouragement. Today, 42 schools across the city, along with schools from Jaipur and Scotland, are participating in this creative writing competition. We thank the principals and the teacher coordinators of all the participating schools. We thank all of you for making this event as a success. One of the themes of today's competitive event is caring for the elderly. It is our humble effort to spread awareness in the young minds the importance of care, love, and compassion that the senior citizens are looking for. In our efforts, we cannot forget the parents, who are very important stakeholder of the school. We thank you for guiding your wards in fulfilling their dreams. Thank you, teachers. Your contribution in the lives of these young learners is irreplaceable. Our sincere appreciation goes for the assistance that we constantly receive from the back office staff. You are the spine. In the digital world, we extend a special thanks to our technical team for conducting today's program smoothly on digital platforms. My job will be incomplete if I do not thank our support staff for their commitment as always. Last but not the least, our thanks goes to all press representatives present here for coverage of today's event. I thank all participating students today and wish them happy reading and writing. Thank you everyone. Wishing happy coming festival season. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
We would now request everyone to kindly join us for the school song, Marching Together.
Marching together, marching together, marching together, Sri Shiksha School. Marching together, marching together, marching together, Sri Shiksha School. Marching together, Sri Shiksha Yudin School. Marching together, marching together, marching together, Sri Shiksha Yudin School. Marching together, marching together, marching together, Sri Shiksha Yudin School. Marching together, marching together, marching together, Sri Shiksha Yudin School.
Thank you, everyone. As we draw the curtains on the inaugural session, there are certain important announcements we would like to make. The participants are to abide by the format and writing convention provided earlier. All submissions should be original and unpublished. The participants are to stick to the given time limit, and the videos should be kept on throughout the writing time. Failing to follow any given rule will lead to immediate disqualification.
Thanks to all the people for supporting us and joining us online on our YouTube live stream. Participants are now requested to join their respective meeting links for the commencement of the competition. Your topics will be intimated to you during your group-specific meetings. If you face any technical difficulties during the competition, do not hesitate to contact us. Our tech team will immediately look into your issue. So without further ado, it is finally time for you to pick up the pen of creativity, give wings to your imagination, and let your expressions take flight. Best of luck to all of you. We look forward to having a very fun-filled day ahead.